Which is why, for example, in the program Hawara, we had Palestinians getting attacked by the IDF because they were defending themselves against settlers literally burning their homes down. It's part of Israeli policy to do that.
With respect or whatever, the point of the IDF or the Israeli Defense Force is to protect its citizens. If the citizens are not being harmed, then they're not going to jump in and intercede. But if their citizens are being harmed, then they will intercede. Their job is not to protect the Palestinian people.
That's my point. That's actually my point. I'm so glad you summarized it. I'm really bad at summarizing, but that is my point. These settlers are not different from these.
My thing, though, it's the same thing soldiers. With the American, with every nation in the entire world. They're only going to protect their own people. That it's you're trying to make it out that Israel is bad because they do this, when it's every nation is guilty of the same crime that you're talking about.
Great. Does the American police have jurisdiction in Mexico?
No, they don't.
Is it their territory?
Nope.
If the Israeli military crossed into Mexico and Mexicans started resisting the military, right, and at the same time you had American civilians attack Mexicans, do you think that that would be a moral thing or even a legal thing to do? Of course not. 100% not. Israel is not in a position where it is the arbiter of human rights in this example. It's not one where it's following by any set international laws. It's not following by any of them. So when you are a state occupying the West Bank and illegally sending settlers to it, settling your own
I can give you examples of where the American military has gone over into other countries and done exactly what you just said.
If I could finish.
Right, and was it justified? That's what he's asking.
To protect our own people or whatever. Would you say it's okay for your?
I gave a very simple example, right? Israel occupies the West Bank and Gaza unnecessarily. There is no need for it. It's illegal. It's permanent occupation. It also goes against another aspect of international law by settling its own civilian population in the West Bank.
Thank you, Capital.
Well, here's what it is. You want to say that it's permanent settlement and all this stuff, and what happens is your territory, you took it from somebody, then somebody took your territory from you, and then that person that took your territory gave it to another nation, and that nation is now occupying.
Can you repeat what you just said? Because I have no clue what you just said.
For all of human history or whatever, nations conquering other nations, taking their land and assuming it as their own has been the way of things. Right or wrong, that's just the way it happens. And that's what's continued to happen.
Okay, but this is the problem that me and you have, right? This is the odd problem, right? Just because something is the way it is does not mean that this is the way it should be. Which is why...
How should it be?
When you have... Hold on, wait, 1 second. When you have 100 years ago regulations that everyone agreed to, by the way, even Israel, they signed the Geneva Conventions. They signed them, they agreed upon them, except that they went against them the second they occupied the West Bank in the Six-Day War. These regulations exist recently specifically to prevent what happened in World War I and World War II from happening again. That was the point. It shouldn't be this way that states act without impunity. It shouldn't be that way. If Iran had done the same thing, and by the way, they haven't done similar things, they were punished. They were punished. Iran is sanctioned. Iran has no ability to do anything economically. And they're sanctioned, they're punished. Lebanon and Syria, they did the same thing that Israel is being accused of. They massacred people unjustly. And what happened? There was military intervention and they were sanctioned. Look at the Caesar law in Syria. They're not allowed to import or export anything.
That's the same thing that happened to Russia. Russia's trying to take Ukraine and they're
Russia,
sanctioned.
But hold on, all of these groups, all of these countries, they did similar things to Israel and they were punished, except that Israel is the only state with the back of the US which were not punished for any of these things that they've done. None of them. They act with complete impunity.
Who would punish them?
Which is why when I bring up international law, it's ridiculous.
Who would punish them?
Okay. Legally speaking, simply put, the international...
Wait, do you agree with that? Do you think that sorry, Echo, I'm going to let you answer. I'm just curious whether you think a state should be free from punishment, be free from repercussions.
A state or a country?
a state, nation state, a country, whatever the same. I'm
They're
using it
literally the same
colloquially.
words. I don't know why you guys draw a distinction.
They're not the same word, or at least not in the United States.
Literally the same.
I'm an American citizen, bro.
Because I've never
so in
heard
America.
Alabama called a country. So
We're talking about states in America. I'm talking about state globally. Why are we stuck on this topic?
well, he's
Just
saying they're
answer
the
my
same
question.
word. He sort of deviated
They're
the
used.
subject.
Can you answer my question?
The state of Israel is the country of Israel, dude.
Yeah, but state, like I said, has a different meaning in the United States.
Okay, what is it called? The government
United
of Israel?
States, dude.
Bro,
Like,
why are we going down this, like, can
He
you
keeps
answer
bringing
my
it up. Like
question?
I'm happy to leave the state country thing debate. So what was you
Answer my
saying?
question.
The hell is question?
Do you think